not only to come to Accra, but to be chosen as award winners. And you are going to have the unique opportunity to interact with the first gentleman of the land. Then it means that you have no excuse. It means that the challenges that I went through, you shouldn't go through those challenges. And I think that is why the Minister for Education and His Excellency the President are working very hard to ensure that we improve teaching and learning, particularly at the basic level. As you know, there are inequalities depending on where you are. So we have schools that are less endowed. We have schools that are also in the rural parts of this country. And we have schools where, when we even post teachers, they are not willing to go because the schools are so remote. And those environments are not attractive. But government is very determined to address some of these challenges. So you may have heard the President and the Minister speak about the Teacher Dabre Programme. And the President mentioned this during the State of the Nation's address on Friday. That is to help provide accommodation so that teachers would find it a lot more easier to take up postings in rural communities. But the President doesn't just leave it there. He also has a program that is going to reward teachers who take up teaching positions in the rural areas slightly more than their colleagues who do not. And that is a policy that is going to allow teachers who take up postings in rural communities and the self communities 20% on top of their gross salary as part of the motivation. So the thinking is that if we can combine the provision of accommodation and some additional remuneration, it will make it easier for teachers to take up appointments in rural and the self communities. So that students in Bumkrugu, students in Fumbisi, students in Doninga or Bachongsa can also have the opportunity to excel as you have, so that someday they can also come to Accra. Bad behavior. We are not happy with the hooliganism, the lawlessness, and indeed the misconduct that we are recording in some secondary schools. Not all, very few. But as the saying goes, one bad nut can soil the taste of the rest of the nuts in your mouth. So please stay away from such behavior. Conduct yourselves properly and focus on your studies. And let your colleagues know that those who would refuse to conduct themselves properly, those who would misbehave, those who will be lawless, those who would engage in acts of criminality will be dealt with. And I'm sure you've heard that some of your seniors in some of those schools where we had reports about misconduct and lawlessness, the Director General is here, the Chief Director is here, the Minister has given us the marching orders, the President has given us his blessing that they must be disciplined in our secondary school. So if you misconduct yourself, you will be arrested, you will be prosecuted, and you may go to jail and also lose the opportunity to realize your dream through schoolwork. So let this be a caution through you to all students. But I know that you are here because you are of good behavior. So help be agents of change. Let your colleagues who are not here understand that it pays to conduct yourselves lawfully, properly, and to respect the regulations as expected of you as students. And those who do not will face consequences. So be our ambassadors. We are very proud of you, and we are looking forward to tracking your progress